So this video is going to be note taking, and then I'm going to do study tips, and then I'm going to be doing test taking tips. Like I said, on my community tab, I only upload each video after I hit 100 views. So once this video hits 100 views, I will unlock the next video.
4 to 6 weeks later.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create a study guide for one of your exams. By now, it's been like a month for most of you. By now, you should have an idea of whether or not your teachers are PowerPoint based or reading based. And this is based off of if you get a review. So let's get into creating study guides for your exams. And my teacher is nice enough to give us reviews, thankfully. Here's what the review looks like. She was nice enough to break it down by chapter, and she presents with PowerPoints. And from what I saw on my last exam, you can really just like look at the PowerPoints and do perfectly fine on the exam. You really don't have to do too much reading from the textbook. I'm gonna open the PowerPoint from whatever that chapter is. And then I'm also going to open a new presentation. So basically what you would do is every single time you find, I would recommend printing this out. It would just make it easier instead of having to flip through a bunch of windows. But whenever you see like a topic on one side, so for example, definitions of overweight and obesity, you go over here, you find the slide. So once you find the slide that was on the review, you would right click, copy, come over here, and make sure you can see that red line below. That way you know that you're about to do something below the slide. Hit Command V or Control V to paste, and then you have that slide. And so then you would just keep going through this list. What I like to do after I've covered the material on the review, I make it green just so that I know that I've already covered it. So then I just go through the list and I copy and paste each like relevant slide that's on the review. The end result is you would end up with a review with just this. You would have a PowerPoint with just the slides that you need to know for the exam. Here's another option if you're not really into looking at PowerPoints to review and you want something that you can like print out and actually highlight, is to copy and paste and put it all into a Word doc. This is going to take more time, but it's worth it if you need this way to study. What I like to do is I like to do columns. Okay, first I'm going to show you the settings for the paper just to help you fit more words on your paper. I like to make my margins narrow. And then I like to do 2 columns, but I click more columns, and then I make sure I check line between, and then I hit OK. And this just helps you fit way more onto your papers, because if you were to do a single column, this would probably be a little bit longer. It's already so much information already, but that's how I did my review for my first exam, but I found that I like doing PowerPoints better. Okay, so here's another tip that I have that I completely forgot about, just to make this process go a little bit quicker. So right here it says criteria for bariatric surgery. What you would do to find the slide easier, just type in the word up here in the search. And then every slide that has that word will pop up. So that was the last match they have. What about if we go backwards? Make sure you click both the back and the forward arrow. And so boom, here's the slide that has information that I need. Well, it's gonna be one big PowerPoint, so I made sure that I added a PowerPoint slide that says chapter 8. That way I know all of the slides following it are for chapter 8. And then right here I will add a new slide, and I'll say chapter 9. That way I know that all of the slides after this are going to be for chapter 9. And then over here on my list, anything in orange means that I found a PowerPoint that was related to what's here, but I put it in orange because I need to add more information. And then if I left it black, it's because I wasn't really sure where to find it, and I'll have to ask my teacher for help on what she means specifically, or I'll just have to look it up myself. So now what I'm going to do is just complete my review PowerPoint. And yeah, that's pretty much it.